Hello friends, welcome back to my blind playthrough of Planescape Torment. This is episode 42 and we are still here in the lecture hall learning about the Blood War. And boy, did we learn a lot last episode. I mean, strictly speaking, I actually didn't learn all that much because Ghysis the Crooked, or Ghysis the Crooked, I'm not sure how I pronounced it, he was talking a lot of stuff and honestly, it was too much. It was definitely too much for that one session. Now, I do know that there are some questions that I didn't really get to ask. Well, I would have gotten to ask them, but I was just too tired at that point to keep going. So he went on this whole long rant about the Blood War, because he has apparently been to the Blood War, and it was, let's just say it was not his favorite experience in the world. He basically advised us to stay away from it as much as possible, which, I don't know, at this point it kind of seems like we're not gonna get into the Blood War, but anything could happen, really. So, which ones did we ask? We did ask most of them, actually, including the crazy question of how does one get hired into the Blood War, as if we wanted to get hired in the first place. I mean, I would like to see it as a player, but it doesn't really sound like the sensible thing to do. What I did want to ask him is to describe the Tanari and the Batazu. The man nods. The Tanari pay better than Batazu, but you need to be 2 or 3-faced and have a bunch of eyes sprinkled all over your body, because you can't ever turn your back on them. They're chaos, the ones with whim and whimsy in their hearts. Trust or upholding their word aren't high on their list. He sniffs, then shrugs. They don't care what happens, so long as something happens and is evil. Mostly they attack the Batazu to keep from killing each other. Right, so the Tanari are basically the chaotic ones, if I understand this correctly. And the Batazu, the man nods. They don't usually pay as much as the Tanari, but they don't break their written word. They're smart, though. Several hundredfold smarter, and they've been making contracts since time began. They know how to peel someone with words, they do. Sign, and most likely you'll get peeled and hung to dry in their legions. They plan like bastards. They put more thought and preparation into a single strategic skirmish than most human armies devote to an entire campaign. Ah, that's a great bit of lore there. That makes those sound really dangerous. He sniffs and scratches at his chin. They usually assemble their forces on Avernus, the first layer of Beator. Avernus? I mean, we've definitely heard of Avernus. I've heard of Avernus even before Planescape, right? Because Avernus is featured in Baldur's Gate 3. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything about Baldur's Gate 3 in case anyone here has not played the game. But yeah, it is featured in Baldur's Gate 3, so I kind of know about Avernus, right? What's it like, though? Avernus. The man grimaces as if recalling the place caused physical anguish. 'Tis inhabited by the damned and those that prey on the damned. The red-flecked lands of noxious sands and blistering fires that scream across the landscape. That was my taste of Beator, the lair of Avernus. Terrible place. Sounds like it. Anything else I did not ask? I think I didn't ask this one, so you'll tell us no tales of the Blood War. Alright. 1. Let me give you an example of what meat means to them. They'll get some mean-spirited mortal mercenaries together, maybe a drop a few million strong, and let them slaughter each other for no real reason at all. A pointless battle over some power's forsaken piece of land. Guess where all those souls go? I'm guessing they don't go far away from the hells, if that's what you mean. Their souls sink into the planes of evil they fight on, where they get ripped from the soup of the plane and set to fight again as lemurs or manes, or whatever the pike and sod those little fiendish dung heaps become. The more of those sodden petitioners they get, the more troops they have. Sounds like a really nasty business. Anything else? I don't think so. So I have got no questions. And then he repeats the thing about the sensates, how they shouldn't go into the Blood War. Okay, I apologize, I had to split this conversation into 2 episodes. I was just really not feeling it at the end of the last one. I've kind of been hoping to push for longer episodes, longer than an hour, but it's very much a situational thing. So sometimes I can go for about an hour, and sometimes I can go for an hour and a half or even more. It's very much dependent on context. But honestly, I don't understand the people who post like 6-hour Let's Plays, even though they obviously take several breaks in between. I just find it absolutely incredibly draining to do that. Like, I'm fine playing for an hour, but after that, man, does it get difficult. I guess it depends on a lot of other factors, right? So we have Jolmi here. I don't think we've talked to Jolmi yet, but we were supposed to. Let me just refresh my memory real quick. I've been given a message that a woman called Jolmi of the House Surma wishes to make a proposal to me. I'm to seek her out in the Civic Festival. She wears green silks trimmed with gold and has hair the color of blue steel. Ooh. That's a great description of that color, actually. That is the color of blue steel, as far as I understand it. This stern-looking older woman seems to be looking for someone. Her eyes fix upon your face as you approach her. You there. Might I have a word with you? Yes, you're Jolmi, correct? I spoke to your messenger.
Updated my journal.
I am pleased to meet you, then. She gives a slight bow. I would make you a somewhat unusual proposal, though you must admit you are an unusual man. I will give you 1,000 copper commons for your permission to kill you. Are you open to discussion on the matter? What? What is this? But why? Jolmi doesn't bat an eyelash. But why not? I thought it might be an interesting experience, paying someone for the privilege of murdering them. When I first heard rumors of your existence, how could I resist? So, what is your answer? Shall we discuss the matter in greater detail? You know, that's so cool. That's actually so cool. I love the idea of the sensates. I love the idea of trying to get every possible experience. Trying to experience every possible experience. And even including something as unusual as this. Actually, the fact that it's unusual probably makes it even more valuable to them, right? So, interestingly enough, though, she did say she heard rumors of my existence, which I can't really imagine where she could have heard those from. I guess there are a few people who know about us. Where did you hear them? Jolmi frowns. One hears all sorts of things in the fest hall. How could one not eventually hear of a man like you? Again, I ask, will you consider my proposal? I'm considering it, all right. Let's work out the details. After a short discussion, it comes down to the following terms. Jolmi will pay you 2,000 copper commons. Wow, I don't think we've ever been paid that much for a quest. Am I wrong? I don't think I've been paid that much. Then again, killing someone is an expensive thing, even though they will come back to life. Actually, she might be doing me a service since my health is pretty much drained, so this might be a quick way to regenerate it back. In return, you will allow her to drive her dagger into your heart. She will wait for you to awaken, at which point she will give you the coin. Okay. Should I really trust her? I mean, when I'm dead, she might as well just walk away and never give me the coin. But, then again, I guess I'm not gonna be missing out on much, unless she steals from me. She doesn't seem like the sort of person to do those things. Why am I even considering that? Let's do it. The affair is over in moments. She's already cleaned her blade and put it away by the time you've recovered. After picking yourself up off the fest hall floor, Jolmi hands you several rolls of copper coins while you rub your aching chest. Somewhat disappointing, I must admit. Ah well, coin well spent nonetheless. Farewell. Yeah, farewell.
Updated my journal.
That was weird, and it didn't even regenerate my health, so my enthusiasm was kind of premature in this, but let's see. I allowed Jolmi Let's read from the beginning. A noblewoman named Jolmi made a proposal to me. She wishes to pay me for the privilege of murdering me. An easy way to fill my purse, I suppose, were it all to run smoothly. I allowed Jolmi to stab me through the heart for a handsome sum of coin. She seemed somewhat disappointed with the experience, but I'm pleased well enough with the coin. Well, I guess this is not going to be an infinite money glitch, since she probably didn't like the experience enough to repeat it. What kind of sicko actually wants the experience of killing someone, though, even though it actually doesn't hurt them? Kind of weird, but I get that it's your faction's whole philosophy, so it's cool, but at the same time, it's insanely weird and off-putting. Some nameless sensates here, alright. Some more nameless sensates, actually. Okay, let's admire their clothing, because this is definitely the fancier part of town. Actually, this seems to be almost like a sensate uniform, right? With this, with the cloth here covering the left shoulder and the right shoulder kind of bare, except for the shirt underneath or whatever that is. So they wear different colors of this clothing, but that seems to be like a common feature. And the women, they also wear the same outfit. Quite a revealing outfit, actually. I guess same as pretty much everyone in this game. It's enough to just scroll through the Beast journal and look at some of these pictures, and some of these are quite suggestive. The Harlot, okay, that's to be expected, but then you get like those female townies, and whoa, okay, sure. The developers really had some fun designing those characters. Anyway, that was a small window into the artistic side of the game. Now, Mertwyn the Headless. I'm not sure why he got that nickname, because he doesn't look headless to me. He seems to be walking around a lot, if anything. It's clear there's something very wrong with this man. The way he lurches about, bumping into things, staring off blankly into space. Okay, that was really not represented well in the animation. As you approach him, you at last realize his plight. He's headless. The thing on his shoulders is merely a skillfully carved wooden prosthesis, a false head. Okay, who has ever heard of a prosthetic head? That's gotta be an original idea, right? Greetings? The headless body stops fumbling for a moment and pauses. Its hands begin to reach out as if trying to feel exactly where you are. Sure, let it touch me. After a moment, its finger brushes your forearm. It clutches your arm and follows it up to the shoulder, then your head. As it feels your face and head, its hands brush your neck as if it were checking for something. Finally, it grabs your hand and shakes it vigorously in greeting. You notice that its skin is cold and slightly clammy. So was it checking whether I'm also headless? Because that's how I understand this. Interesting how they're using this impersonal language, using the it pronoun to describe this. Well, it looks like a person, but then again, it's headless, so who knows? Can you understand me, sir? The figure makes a series of hand motions, then waits for a response. It seems like it's asking a question. Yeah, I guess not having a head would inhibit your ability to communicate, wouldn't it? I don't understand. The headless body taps its foot for a moment, scratching at the chin of its prosthetic head. Suddenly it raises a finger, as if struck by an idea. It points at you, then at the eyes of its wooden head, then at you again. It then indicates its wooden head with both hands, shrugs, and points at you. Oh. Okay. No, I haven't seen your head anywhere, if that's what you're asking. The headless body shrugs, slumps a bit, and turns to amble off. Good talk. Alright, that was a fun, I hesitate to call it conversation. I will keep a lookout for your head. Oh, that's why he's making these bonk sounds. Okay, never mind. He is running into the pillars, actually. I haven't really noticed. There's a Montague here? Okay, is this like a Romeo and Juliet thing, or... And this looks kind of like a throne? What is this? This throne appears as old as the building itself. It looks unused. More a piece of artwork than a ruler's seat. Yeah, actually I'm interested to see if this faction, if these sensates have a ruler or head of the faction of some kind. There is nothing hidden behind the bars which adorn the face of this pillar. Nor this pillar. There is something hidden here, though. Scroll of forced missiles. Oh, I gotta watch out. That could have been stealing. That could have been annoying if these locals attacked me. Scroll of forced missiles. Do I have those? A level 4 wizard. No, I don't think I have any level 4 spells, really. Or maybe like one? Yeah, what is this? I gotta try that. So level 4 wizard. Missiles of force accurately strike down and blast its intended victims. Like the magic missile, this spell creates a mystical globe of magical energy, which will successfully hit its target for 2 to 8 points of damage regardless of saving throw. It then explodes with a concussive blast that does 1 point of damage per level of the caster within a 3-foot radius. If a saving throw is made, then this concussive damage is negated. The wizard creates 1 missile at 7th, plus an additional missile every 2nd level after 7th, for a max of 7 missiles. Okay. So what I'm hearing is, this spell is really useful and I should learn it. Done. We will get more into the specifics when it actually comes time to use it. So we had the lecture on the Blood War. Now there's supposed to be a lecture on death, what happens after death, which is interesting. This lecture hall seems empty though, except for some sensates. Okay, let's try to talk to them just to see. Yeah, they're all in the middle of something. Okay, they have the same generic line. That makes it easier for us to explore. Did those doors open? Oh, okay. Yeah, the door did open itself. I guess let's talk to Montague, since they seem to be walking around anyway, so I don't want to miss this guy. This handsome young man seems lost in thought, his brow furrowed and a slight frown upon his lips. Greetings. And to thee, sir, hail. What dost thou wish of me? He does speak in kind of a Shakespearean language, too. I had some questions. Let's start with the pleasantries. Who are you? I am named Montague, factotum of the Sensates. Ah, factotum was like a title, right? It was like, I'm not sure if it was like the supreme leader. That's a bad way of putting it. I'm not sure if it was the head of the faction, but it was certainly like a prominent position, right? So what's a factotum? Verily, sir, a member, if thou like. Oh, it's just a regular member, okay. I might be confusing this with something else then. Yeah. Factotum of the Sensates. Oh, come on, I know what a Sensate is. You had said Sensate? Verily, sir, the Society of Sensation, a faction of Sigil, sir. The largest. Shouldst thou wish to learn more of the Sensate, speak with Splinter. Thou shalt find him just inside the entrance to this building. Okay. Weird, but sure. Other questions. What are you doing here? I work as an assistant for one of the faction's administrations, though more often now than the past I find myself perplexed by one of life's strange ways. Such as? Problems of the feminine variety. Oh wow, dude. Okay. Just the phrase "problems of the feminine variety" doesn't really make me surprised that you have this type of problems, you know? What's the problem exactly? You're a female? What? No. I kind of assumed that he had issues with the ladies, is what he's trying to say. What's the problem exactly? I don't know what's bothering her. I have tried to cheer her up. I don't know what could be the matter. Let me guess, her name is Capulet. How are things between you two then? Other than this bout of discontent and humdrums, everything is splendid. All that orbits around us does so with tranquility. Our families are more than satisfied with our potential union, and her siblings love me. There is nothing wrong. Well, this is either a subversion of the Romeo and Juliet trope, or you're being sarcastic. Perhaps that's the problem. No problems. How dost thou mean that no problems are problems? 'Tis my desire that thou speak plainly, sir. I don't know what I mean, honestly. It sounds kind of stupid. I guess I'm a walking paradox, so I just go around saying things like that. Perhaps you want a little more spice in your relationship. That could be it. Okay. Okay, I hear it. I hear you, Nameless One. Do your thing. How wouldst thou know what she wishes? He becomes heated. We love, and we love unconditionally, with none of the sordid or poisonous wrappings that seem to unfold all in young love. I call thee out, sir, and I call thee a recreant knave and a fool. Alright, calm yourself, big guy. I am sorry. 'Twas the fury of the moment that caused me to speak so. I tender my apologies to thee and thine, good sir. It's alright. Think nothing of it, it's no matter. Thou art indeed gracious, sir. Well, you are quite a character, aren't you? Can I ask you about this place? The Civic Fest Hall. Thou wouldst do well to speak with Splinter, just inside the entrance to this building. Well, that's all I wish to know. Okay. Could be that this is not a quest, or could be that the quest actually starts elsewhere. We have Qui-Sai here. Hang on, how do I... Oh, there's another door. Okay, I was like, this can't be the whole place, right? How do I proceed? No, there was another door here, which I completely missed. And here too, actually. Well, the more you know. Since we're here though, Qui-Sai, you don't look human. You look like a walking statue. This is a life-sized granite statue of a gentleman, standing with his arms at his sides, eyes closed. It is of excellent craftsmanship, exquisitely detailed and incredibly lifelike. So much so, in fact, that you find yourself wondering if it's really a statue at all. That's what I'm saying. Greetings? The statue makes no response. Okay, well, so there were mimes somewhere in the street, so I think this person is doing like the living statue thing that street performers do. Touch the statue. You touch the statue and find that while the clothes that adorn it are of grey cloth rather than rock, the skin is as cool and hard as granite. Why would someone clothe the statue? The statue remains as impassive as ever to your query. Should I strike the statue? You know what? Society of Sensation, new experiences. I also crave new experiences. I'm gonna strike the statue. As you make to strike the statue, its eyes flash open and it catches your fist in an iron-hard grip. Narrowing its cold grey eyes, it speaks with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Why would you strike, Qui-Sai? I'm missing the sensate option here. Forgive me, I only meant to see if you were truly a statue. He nods slowly, frowning. You are forgiven. However, one feels you are lacking patience. Well, maybe I am. What's wrong with that? Personally, I don't think patience is all it's cracked up to be. It's kind of often turns into complacency. I know that because that's very much how I am. Perhaps I had some questions. The statue remains as silent as ever. Hello? There is still no response. I'm gonna wait for a response. I'm not gonna get one, I know that. There is still no response. You get the sense that Qui-Sai might be testing your patience. Well, the game is on. A few minutes pass and Qui-Sai has still failed to respond. It's too late to give up now. Wait quietly for a few more moments. The statue's eyes open. He gazes at you with cold grey eyes. He speaks ponderously with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Your patience is noted. Qui-Sai would speak with you now. Well, I wonder whether I will learn anything super secret, or just the usual stuff. I have questions about you. After a period of silence, he speaks. Ask. Who are you? I am called Qui-Sai. What are you exactly? One is of the race called Stone Princess. Qui-Sai is Genasi of Earth. Never heard of you guys. Okay, Genasi.
Updated my journal.
He nods proudly. Qui-Sai's father, an elemental creature of Earth, the Tao. Qui-Sai's mother, a human woman of noble heritage. Such is what it is to be Genasi of Earth. Huh. Elemental creature of Earth. What sort of elemental creatures are there on Earth? Which, by the way, Earth... Oh, you mean Earth as in the element, right? Huh. I guess that fits in with the theme of the statue, and yeah, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit confused there. So what do you do? Qui-Sai meditates. Qui-Sai also trains others in the arts of combat. Alright, what is it that you meditate upon? Qui-Sai meditates upon the Way of Stone. Sounds like some Eastern philosophy stuff. The Way of Stone. Qui-Sai nods. A philosophy, a method of combat. With it, Qui-Sai seeks to achieve invulnerability. Well, I'd like to get me some of that invulnerability too. You'd be unbeatable in combat. Yes. Now, the way is not yet perfect. Qui-Sai will make it so one day. Qui-Sai knows this. Well, teach me what you've discovered so far. Qui-Sai nods. No one has asked Qui-Sai to share his knowledge of the way. Qui-Sai shall do this now. He begins to speak at length, slowly and carefully. Okay, wow, I feel like I'm about to learn something super useful here. Come on.
Updated my journal.
After hours of listening, and many questions, you come to understand what little of Qui-Sai's Way of Stone he can teach you. In combat, you will use it to resist and deflect your enemy's blows, improving your armor class. Wow, that was so worth it, wasn't it? Improving my armor class? Okay. I wonder by how much. Even if it's like by 1 or 2, it's incredibly worth it, I feel. Okay, I have other questions though. Just when you think he hasn't heard you, he replies, ask. Okay. Well, let's just ask what he was meditating upon first. But yeah, it was probably the Way of Stone. So, about this place. This is the Civic Fest Hall. Need you know more? Find another to ask. Okay, I will. Thank you, Qui-Sai. That was incredibly cool. Now let's check my stats. What does this look like? My armor class is, well, I actually see it represented anywhere, though. Armor class, currently affected by, it's not there. Number of attacks, Thaco. You know, I'm actually not sure how much it boosted my armor class. I guess I would have to check. Armor class bonus 0. Okay, it's ability bonuses. I guess that's a different thing from this permanent increase, I think. Anyway, armor class 2 sounds good, and it's definitely better than what I had before. I'm not sure if I had like 4 or something like that. I think it boosted it by at least 2. Just how big is this place? Yeah, okay, we're getting there. Jumble Murdersense. That's a fun name. It's like something out of Hobbiton. The short, balding man's orange tunic and rather sizable gut give him the look of a walking pumpkin. He is absent-mindedly patting his large paunch with a slow rhythm as if it were a drum. The man's odd, crooked smile and a strange gleam in his eyes make him look a bit mad. You're going to be a fun one, I can already see it. Greetings. The man gives an exaggerated, flourishing bow and presents a small card which reads only Jumble Murdersense, Chaositect Sorcerer... oh, Chaositect Sorcerer Extraordinaire. 3 X's, all 3 pronounced differently, according to my newest theory of how Chaositect is pronounced. He then snatches the card from your grasp and proceeds to eat it. What? What is this? Grinning wildly all the while. Okay, that was unexpected. That was actually really funny. I had some... I have some... Oh, you're the man who cursed Reekwind? Fuck me, man. I definitely don't remember. It's been like 25 episodes for me, at least. I have some questions, Jumble. Jumble yawns and looks away, drumming on his belly with the palms of his hands. Jumble, my questions? Jumble rolls his eyes. He turns to you, smirks, then bites his thumb. At least answer me this. Did you curse Reekwind?
Updated my journal.
Jumble pulls an innocent face and shrugs as if to say, I don't know. He then covers his mouth with his hand and giggles like a giddy schoolgirl. I'd like you to remove his curse. Jumble pretends not to hear you, instead belching loudly and resuming his belly drumming, his eyes wandering around the fest hall. Okay, is there anything I could do so that you'd remove the curse? Jumble won't look at you, but shakes his head. Well, what can I do with this guy? I guess I'll bluff. I don't want to hurt him actually, but remove the curse before I'm forced to hurt you. Jumble raises... Oh god, what did I do? I only see the one option that I have, and it doesn't look good. I haven't read the rest yet. Jumble raises one eyebrow and takes a step back. He opens his mouth sharply, and though his lips or throat don't move to shape any words or sound, a torrent of incomprehensible babbling begins to pour forth. I feel like I'm about to get wrecked here.
Updated my journal.
Jumble shuts his mouth. Oh my god, he cursed me too, didn't he? Jumble shuts his mouth and the babbling ceases. He peers at you through narrowed eyes, a self-satisfied smile on his pudgy face. Suddenly, you hiccup, and hiccup, and hiccup, and hiccup again. Fuck me. Jumble Murdersense merely turns his head and waves you away. What have you done? Jumble ignores you entirely. Boy, am I tempted. But I'd better find someone who can help me lose this curse. Okay, now I'm gonna have hiccups. I wonder... Probably not, but it would be incredibly cool. I wonder if this will manifest in all my dialogues now. Like, in all my dialogue lines, if there's an occasional hiccup somewhere. That would be so funny. But it would be so much work for the developers, for relatively little benefit, I feel. But it would be cool. Okay, so now we're stuck with a hiccuping nameless one. That is fun. That is actually really fun. Warrior in training. And actually quite a lot of them here. So what do we have here? This rack of wooden sparring weapons holds nothing of interest to you. Alright. What about this? This sparring dummy has suffered much abuse at the hands of warriors in training. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of them, so I'm not surprised. And there was a barrier here, who apparently isn't a warrior in training, I guess. So yeah, we will talk to all these people. Right then, I guess let's start with the barrier. This person is practicing various combat maneuvers on a wooden training dummy. They seem far too busy to speak with you at the moment. Oh, I see. I guess that's how it's going to be for all of them, isn't it? This person is breathing heavily and is covered in a fine sheen of sweat, as if they had just finished some strenuous exercise. They turn to you as you approach. Yes? What is this place? They nod towards the training dummies. The warrior's training chamber. I see. Where's the trainer? Is there one around here, or do you guys just train yourselves? Qui-Sai. They shrug, wiping sweat from their brow. Somewhere in the fest hall, most likely. He's hard to miss. His skin is like grey stone. I see. Oh, so Qui-Sai is the trainer. Interesting. Anything else you guys can tell me, or is it just the same thing? Yeah. Seems like to be the same thing for all of them. Alright. What about the next room over? Thief in training. I see. This is going to be mage in training, isn't it? Alright. We got the trifecta here. Eli Havelock. Hang on. That rings a bell. That actually rings a bell, I think. I feel like I've God damn it, how does this work? I feel like I've met him somewhere, but I don't know. That doesn't really happen in this game. People usually stay in one place, so unless he was scripted for some reason to move. Okay, who are you, Eli? Huzzah! Look who's arrived! Eli shoots you a wicked smile. Welcome to my stomping grounds, Cutter. Ready to train? Ah, that's right. Didn't he actually offer to... Man, there are so many characters in this game. I feel like I remember a lot of them, but some of them just slip right past. Oh, did I just agreed to train as a thief, didn't I? Well, a new experience then. Right, here, let's see you take this from my hand, Cutter. He extends his arm, a single copper coin lies in his palm. You flick your hand out, but Eli's too fast. Good enough though, Cutter, we'll continue. Alright. Eli nods. Now you understand that you've got to drop your current profession, right? Are you prepared to do this? Not really, no. Perhaps another time. Interesting, to see where you are, though. Okay, I'm sorry, I was just... The hiccups are actually so distracting. This person is trying to remove items from the pockets of a stuffed mannequin, which is suspended from a frame and hung in various bells with various bells and chimes. Each time the person touches the mannequin too forcefully, it jingles loudly. That's actually a really fun way to practice thieving. I like it. What about you guys? This person is casually examining the bell-laden practice dummies strewn about the chamber. They look to you as you draw near. And what is this place? It's the thieves' training chamber. The dummies over there are for practicing purse cutting and pickpocketing on. Alright. And this dummy is adorned with pockets, purses, pouches, and dozens of tiny bells. That's fun. Now, what I really care about, though, is what's presumably here, right? Yep, looks like I was right. Mage in training. Doesn't seem to be an actual trainer around, though. Not that I need one, but it's a bit inconsistent. There's a trainer here, but not there, nor here. This person is staring intently at a metal panel mounted on the chamber's wall. After a moment of fierce concentration, they wave their hands about and utter a string of impressive-sounding, arcane syllables, all to no effect. Nonetheless, they continue to practice diligently, far too involved with their work to speak with you. Well, I approve. Same. What about these guys? This person is carrying a sheaf of papers and unwound scrolls. They occasionally pause to look through them and read portions of what's written aloud, practicing elaborate hand motions as they do so. They look up as you come to stand before them. Greetings, what is this place? This is where aspiring mages can come to train and study. Many wizards took their first steps in the art as fledgling sorcerers here. Where's the trainer? That's what I really want to know here.
Updated my journal.
I do not know where Lady Thorncombe has gone. I would suggest you try the sensoriums. She spends much of her time there. They lower their voice, frowning. Perhaps too much. The sensoriums. Ask Splinter, just inside the Festal's entrance of them. You cannot reach them yourself, but he will take you there. Interesting. So, yes. So we actually cannot reach them, even if we try. So, once we're ready to visit them, we really gotta go there. Okay. Oh, this is actually the same thing. Okay. Now, where does this go? Hallway leading to the dormitories? I'm guessing this is the same here, right? Okay. Man, this place really is large. What about here? A Death's Advocate. Ah, here we go. So this is going to be the Death Lecture. I might as well start it now so that I can get it finished by the end of the episode, if this lecture is as long as the previous one. Not that I'm complaining, but it's good to know what I'm getting into. Sigillians, welcome! Please take your seats and listen to the darks of which I speak. He begins speaking with a somber tone. Death. It is what awaits you at the end of life's journey. He coughs slightly, then raises his eyebrows dramatically, waving his hands at the same time. Death is not an end, but a beginning. For when you die, you shall not cease to exist. No, far from it. The outer planes shall welcome you to their breasts. There a new life, one such as you have never known, awaits you there. Okay. You shall cast away the tattered cloak of this life and become one of the faithful, a petitioner. As a petitioner on this outer plane, your life's journey shall truly begin. Sounds exciting. If you have been a goodly sort of gentleman, steadfast in charity and goodwill toward your fellow bloods, perhaps the light-blanketed slopes of Mount Celestia shall house you when you die. Your spirit shall pass on to this place, dwelling as a petitioner in the beauty of golden mornings, soft sunlight that caresses. He sighs dreamily. Let's just take some quick notes. Okay, so Death, Mount Celestia. Perhaps you lived your life to betray others and get ahead, giving lies instead of truths, backstabbing others, all to accomplish your own goals. Cold, blood-red carcery, the plane where all turncoats fall when they pass on, shall be the cage that imprisons you. As a petitioner on this plane, you shall live a life of treachery and treacheries, of lies and lying, knowing a life without trust. Well, carcery, which we already have here, again among the lower planes, but sure. And then is there a neutral option? He hunches over, his hides. Oh, this might have been the neutral option. This one might be really evil. He hunches over, his eyes dart back and forth. And perhaps you have lived a life of bloodthirsty evil, contemptuous of your fellow man, laying others low and doing as you pleased without a care for who or what you hurt. Perhaps. Then it is perhaps one of the lower planes, Beator, or the chaotic swirling layers of the abyss, that shall welcome you. Evil to the core are the spirits that come to this plane, and most are doomed to mindless cruelty and suffering or servitude in the dreaded, he whispers dramatically, blood war. Well, that's not a great prospect, is it? Beator / the Abyss. No matter where you go, know this. You shall be embarking on a new life, my Sigillians. You shall be able to start anew without the burden of memory or your past life. Your soul goal, if you will. He smiles at his own humor. Yes, it's so fun. So funny. Is to merge with this new plane that you are on, becoming one with the ideals and the very substance of the plane itself. I see. Okay. That is interesting. That's actually, I mean, that kind of reminds me of the Christian conception of the afterlife, which is the one I'm the most familiar with by far. Because in heaven you are sort of supposed to become, well, not really become. You are not supposed to become anything, but you are sort of just one with the heavenliness. I'm not really doing a great job of describing this. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of the whole conception. I don't want to go into it because that would be a 10-minute tangent for sure. So you're trying to merge with a new plane, but so merging implies like a pretty active role, right? So you are actually going to strive toward merging with this. So whatever you do in life, you become after death in this new plane. That's pretty straightforward so far. You shall be one of the inhabitants, the petitioners on this plane, or ideally, one of the building blocks upon which the plane is built. It is the goal of all petitioners. To accomplish this goal, you, he clasps his hands together for emphasis, must hold to your ideals. Right. Okay. So there are like different levels to being one with your plane. And what he's advising me to do as the player is to be consistent, is to pick consistent options, right? To really strive for alignment with my chosen, alignment. I really haven't picked one yet. I guess if anything, my character is somewhere between good and neutral. Perhaps on the chaotic side, right? Maybe I should pick more actively, more definitively. Your ideals, good or evil, law or chaos, or somewhere in between. As you approach the alignment of the plane, your journey will end as you become part of the plane itself. 'Tis a glorious existence, my Sigillians. Now, of course, there's also the matter of whether this guy is right, whether there isn't anything else to this that I should know and he's neglecting to mention. But if I take him at his word, if I consider him a reliable narrator for a moment, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. Just be consistent, because the game will actually... It kind of sounds like the game will end with me dying and actually becoming what I chose to become, which is pretty cool. That's a really cool idea. Of course, when I say dying, I mean like dying permanently, not in this fleeting way that I've been dying so far. And that is what awaits you after death, my audience. Have a care as to how you live your life, but know that it is not oblivion that awaits you after this life. Sweet, sweet oblivion, huh? What a contrast to Disco Elysium, actually. Keep listening. Now, I shall field any questions you may have for me. Anyone? I've got a couple. Oh boy. 10 different questions. Well... And one of them is asking about the plane, so that's going to be even more questions. Alright. What's a petitioner? A petitioner is what you become when you arrive on this new plane after you have died. As a petitioner, you forsake memory and past life, focusing solely on your new one. And the goal of this new one is... He waits for a response from you with a smile. To merge with the plane. Very good. It looks as if some of my words have actually sunk into that skull of yours. The audience chuckles. This joke would be so much funnier if I had Mort with me. Another question then. Can a petitioner die? He looks slightly uncomfortable at this. Well, yes. Interesting. How? He looks a little more uncomfortable. Well, through any of the normal means, really. Alright. What happens when they die, though? He looks a little more uncomfortable. Well, you merge with the plane. Okay, but what if they die on a plane other than their home plane? Oh boy, we're really heading into uncomfortable territory for this guy. He looks very uncomfortable. Oh, well, then that is the end of life there. But no petitioner wants to leave their home plane, friend. He looks around, realizing he is in a trap. To do so would, be oblivion should they die, really? I see. So there is such a thing as oblivion. And we're just going to leave that line of questioning there, I guess. Well, there are no other questions to ask, really. Other than, why did you neglect to mention this? It feels pretty important. Why do petitioners lose their memories? That's a good question. He raises an eyebrow. Many pardons? What? I said, why do petitioners lose their memories when they die? Like a certain someone? He looks uncomfortable. Well, you know, who wishes to be burdened with such things as memories? The audience murmurs. Oh god, I'm dismantling this guy's whole lecture, aren't I? I kind of want to be burdened with memories, sure. That's why I've been trying to regain them back, you know? The speaker smirks. Looking at you, sir, I cannot begin to wonder why. The audience chuckles. Oh, come on, that was a cheap shot. So why do they lose their memories? He frowns, begins to say something, then stops. After a moment he continues, choosing his words carefully. I imagine that it is because you must start afresh, your petitioner soul pure when you arrive on your new plane. Huh. Okay. A very good question. Why should you have to do that when all your life experiences have determined what plane you end up on in the first place? He looks very uncomfortable. Well, He pauses. I don't know. Well, that's no answer though. He becomes slightly angry. Do you have a better answer, my friend? Perhaps one you can share? The audience turns to face you. Well, since you asked, I'll answer. I don't remember where or when, but I seem to recall having heard that memories drift on the astral plane as memory cores. I also don't remember where I heard that. I don't think I did as the player. Hear that? Maybe I did. An audience member shouts out, "He's right!" The speaker turns to face the audience member. Well, perhaps he is. Well then, the question becomes, is a lifetime of memories more important than living life again? I'll take a stance here. I think it is. He says angrily, then it's simple enough. Don't die, friend. The audience chuckles. I mean, that's what I've been trying this whole game, but admittedly, I'm kind of failing. I actually died in this very episode. What determines which plane you go to? I mean, we know that. Why should I ask that? The more interesting question is, what if someone can't die? He laughs. Nonsense! Everyone dies, friend. Even gods die. I can't die. Oh, truly! Look, everyone! A rare treat. One of the great immortals has graced us with his presence. Greetings, oh immortal. The audience laughs. Yeah, okay, sure, laugh it up. I can prove it. Can I? I'm not sure how, honestly. Unless I have them kill me. In which case, that marks 2 deaths this episode. Oh, do! There is more laughter from the audience. What sport! Take heed, my audience. I think we shall have a rare display of my lecture today. Come up here, oh immortal, and we shall see who is right and who is dead. What an option. I don't think I've ever seen such an option in a game. Kill yourself, then get back up. The speaker turns white at this, taking a step back. By the powers! I think it's only fair that you prove your point now. The audience watches in morbid fascination. Well now. Go on. Die. Here. Now. Prove your words to be true. Embrace your life as a petitioner. This got dark all of a sudden. Okay. He gulps. Now, he offers weakly. I must confess that I'm not quite ready to depart this life just yet. I'm not gonna kill him. That would be crazy. I'm not gonna do that either. I think I'll just, I think this is enough. So this great new life on the outer planes may not be all it's supposed to be, then. The speaker is aware of his hypocrisy, but is afraid of the alternative. Perhaps not. He glances quickly at the audience. Well, certainly not now. As I thought. Another question. He indicates for you to continue. Honestly, at this point, I am expecting him to just full-on walk out of this, because what we've been doing to him at his own lecture is kind of crazy. Explain alignment. Forgive me if I did not explain myself for all my listeners. Alignment is your spiritual leanings, good or evil, law or chaos. Alignment is the way you behave, and it is of consequence. The way you approach life decides your destination when you die. Okay, sure. The Dustmen say that this life is where we end up when we die. The speaker chuckles derisively. Some members of the audience chuckle as well. There are countless petitioners, my friend. Dustmen among them who would disagree with Dustman philosophy. Alright. Tell me about the Blood War? Have you not heard of this, O clueless one? The war between the Batazu and Tanari? I do not have the centuries it would take to describe this conflict. Seek out another, for that is not what this lecture is about. An expected answer. Let's ask about the planes, though. Oh, which? Well, let's start from the beginning, actually. Mount Celestia. Mount Celestia, a plane of eternal good and faith. He clasps his hands together in prayer. Where Devas, or Divas, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Where Divas fly in the skies, Archons rule with honor and nobility, the very model of goodness. He smiles. But you should seek out someone more knowledgeable on the planes than I. Is he talking about Candrian, or is he talking about another lecturer here? There was a third lecture, and I don't remember what their topic was. So maybe it's the planes. It might be the planes, actually. Well, Carcery. The prison plane, cold, brutal, and washed with red. Betrayers and liars make their home there. It is said that the Titans are imprisoned here when they were hurled from Olympus. He gestures dramatically. But you should seek out someone more knowledgeable on the planes than I. Yes? I guess I'm gonna ask anyway, before I seek out someone more knowledgeable. Beator. 9 regimented plane of lawful evil. He chuckles and gestures dramatically. Home to the fiendish Batazu. Sign a contract with them and you'll be wrapped in their chains of intrigue for life. He smiles. Okay, I think I'm starting to really understand the gist of what these planes are all about, now that I've heard about each of them several times. It's kind of getting through to me. And the Abyss? A plane of over 600 layers of festering chaos and evil. Home to the fiendish Tanari. He gestures dramatically. Right. I have no more questions, I think. If there are no more questions, get ready to leave then. He looks eager to wrap things up. Then I shall end this session. I shall continue to lecture here at the hall, so tell all your friends. Well. That was interesting. We kind of made a bumbling fool out of the guy. I honestly feel kind of bad for him. But, you know, serves him right, speaking, pontificating on things that he doesn't really seem to understand all that well. A Merriman here? Can I actually talk to you? Yeah, Merriman, seek out Merriman for Dolora. This man looks like a bitter, cantankerous old codger. His mouth is twisted into a frown that becomes even more severe as he notices you coming his way. Merriman by name maybe, but merry I am not. Off with you, young one. No time for the likes of you. He goes into a fit of coughing from the exertion of shooing you away so loudly. Wait, Dolora wanted me to speak to you. Merriman eyes you suspiciously. That's so. About what, eh? Well? She says that you're her first love and that so long as you hold the keys to her heart, she'll never be free to love another. She told you that, eh? I'm surprised. Perhaps leaving her under Mistress Grace's tutelage did what I couldn't. Started to develop her feelings. In any case, he pats a pocket on his tunic. I won't just give the keys to you. Oh, he's talking about literal keys. Okay. Those are literally the keys to her heart. He nods. That they are. Dolora's a construct, didn't you know that? No? A creature of sorcery and clockwork mechanics she is, and one of my finest creations. Merriman sighs, but cold, without emotion or character. I brought her to the brothel and set her so that she could not leave, in the hopes that the constant contact with so many others would begin to develop her own personality. The keys are the tools used to set her. She wants them because she feels that they're limiting her personal growth now, I suspect. Wow, okay, that is incredibly interesting. I had no idea she was not a person. Why don't you just return the keys then? Merriman scowls. Because I've become a cruel and bitter old man who sees he can get something out of you. Well, I guess get on with it. I want to forget. I've lived almost 150 years now, and I've seen every sensory stone I've cared to in this grand hall. I have little time left to live, and I am too weak to go out in search of wholly new experiences. So I need to find a way to forget them all. That way I can start again in my final days. Okay. How do I make you forget, though? Like, realistically, is there some sort of potion or spell or anything in this universe? How can I help?
Updated my journal.
I'll need something, some item, some concoction that will allow me to forget. Like a draught of the river Styx, something like that. Alright. I'm not sure how I'll get my hands on something like that, but I'll try. I'll return if I find something. Farewell. And there we go. That's it for this episode. We spent the entirety of this episode around here. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Alright, you guys know the deal by now. I like to be systematic and thorough and talk to everyone that I feel is worth talking to. So that's how these episodes go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.